Welcome to Rouse Flybox. Today we're going to tie a variation of the Benton Caddis. The Benton Caddis is one of my patterns, and I have a particular version of it that I would say is probably my favorite surge pattern, as in the spring an elk hair caddis can become. So let's go over how I tie it. I start off with a size 14 standard dry fly hook and brown uni thread. And we're going to start our thread. Wrap a base back. And we'll take it back to the point of the barb. The Benton Caddis gives us a distinct profile of the transition from into the thorax that you see when the fly is on the water, and we get that by a couple different materials. The main variation of this version over my standard or original Benton Caddis is just the material, the color of materials, and the type of materials in one instance that I use. First material we're going to tie in is tan or wood duck dyed CDC. I take a large feather, I sweep it to the tips. And I trim the tips even. And then I'm going to tie that in on the shank of the hook by the tips. Wrap over it. And then bring my thread back up to about the 60% point of the shank. Next I grab the CDC feather with my hackle pliers and I twist it. This twists it a little bit, twists the fibers together into a slight loop. You don't want to overdo it because you will break it. This isn't doubled, this isn't reinforced. It's just tied into a rope, gives it a fuzzy, segmented look to the abdomen that actually fishes, it picks itself out as you fish it. I give an extra wrap as I go along. It starts off the way a caddis body is, a little bit fatter towards the rear, tapers towards the thorax. We don't worry about the fibers coming off. You want that. And we're going to bring it up to that 60% mark and tie it off. And we'll secure it good and tight. And bounce my thread forward a little bit there. And this is going to be a rather fibrous body, but I do trim it a little bit. I trim some of that off when I'm done. The next material you're going to tie in is a dark furnace hackle. I tie it in dry fly fashion. And I'm going to bring it forward to about 1 eye length back. I'm not going to crowd the eye on this because we still have a wing to put in. And about 3 turns, depending on the size of the hook. For this version, this is a little bit larger. I'm going to bring it around a third time. And this is going to give you that transition. Instead of the solid abdomen moving forward with just a palmered hackle, it's going to show you the underside of the caddis, as I think is a little bit more natural. And I don't go too crazy about trimming this pattern, but I did capture a good chunk of fibers right there towards the eye of the hook. The next material you're going to tie in is standard deer body hair, natural color body hair. We're not going to go with elk for this one. What I'm doing is I'm searching for the particular color that natural body hair gives me. I'm going to measure it same as before with the original version. A couple hairs that didn't stack right. I'm going to measure hook length, pinch at hook length, and then cut off about 1/8 of an inch, just as you would the standard elk hair caddis. Give it a loose wrap, flare it, give some security wraps, and then a whip finish. We give a good 4 to 5 turn whip finish on the caddis. And it looks like I got a couple fibers trapped on the far side. We'll trim that for the video's sake. And there it is. The Benton caddis, tied in my favorite search version. And what I do is I pinch it. I pinch the fibers, pop them off about even with the back of the wing to begin with. I don't do anything else to it after it starts to fish out, because it'll fish out, and the CDC fibers after a couple fish will start to splay out. And there we have it. Ralph's Benton caddis. My favorite search pattern. I hope it does well for you. Good luck. See you in the water.